we believe that carbon concentrations need to stabilize to achieve this 2-degree warming goal. So you can see the problem is massive. We believe that the solution is a combination of efforts around the globe. Smarter use of energy with existing technologies is a big part of the solution and can contribute 30% of the reductions needed in further emissions to stabilize global temperatures. And computing is a big part of the solution. First, because advances in computing have fundamentally decreased pressure on energy and resources. Faster, more widely deployed computing equipment and services have enabled carbon-saving activities like video conferencing, online collaboration. A recent study by WWF demonstrated that online shopping can use 16 times less carbon than going to a store. And online search, as pioneered by our hosts, have done everything from reduce printing costs, and thereby leaving more carbon in trees, to eliminating people having to take trips to the library. The innovative companies here today are moving proactively to drive greater energy efficiency with a new initiative. The program, which Google and Intel created, was, as they have said, inspired by an existing WWF program, Climate Savers. Climate Savers was started in 1999 to engage businesses and industry on the challenge of reducing greenhouse gas emissions and fighting climate change through measurable, specific commitments to reduce their company's own carbon footprint. Leading companies like Nike, Lafarge, J&J, IBM, and most recently HP have joined this program. We forecast that by 2010, our Climate Savers companies will reduce their emissions by over 10 million tons each year, the equivalent of taking 2 million cars off the road or 800 homes off of the power grid. The opportunity represented by energy use from computing is tremendous. A recent study by the Gartner Group estimates that computing accounts for 2% of global carbon emissions. And we're delighted that Google, Intel, Microsoft, and other cutting-edge industry leaders here today are taking the lead to tackle the challenge of climate change by creating groundbreaking standards, realistic yet challenging goals, and have taken a comprehensive approach to the entire market that involves all segments and stakeholders, from manufacturers to retailers to corporate users and consumers. In many ways, the partnership you're going to hear about this morning is a perfect example of businesses taking their cue from nature. Animals and nature live in a kind of energy balance. They use energy only when they need it. Think about the lion, powerful, agile, dominant in its field, actually spends 20 hours a day snoozing in the shade. The hummingbird, small and lightning quick when flying, is in a state of torpor, allowing its body to cool to a few degrees above ambient when resting. And even WWF's logo, the iconic panda, devotes the bulk of its day to processing or digesting bellies full of bamboo while just sitting and resting. The secret that these animals have tapped into is one that we humans are now just starting to embrace: smart energy usage. If we don't use energy wisely, we may be quite literally heading for extinction. Google and Intel's extraordinary leadership comes at a critical time in our world. As always, these companies and the other leading companies that have joined today are every bit as agile, iconic, and inspiring as the species I just mentioned. We look forward at WWF to working with you on this tremendous initiative. And now I'd like to turn it over to Urs Hutzel, Senior Vice President of Operations at Google, and Pat Gelsinger, Senior Vice President from Intel. Thank you.